What's that up in the sky? It's a bird. No, it's a plane. No, it's Superman! Everybody knows Superman. He's one of the most popular characters in fiction. And between comics, animation, and live action adaptations, the character has become a major cultural touchstone as he serves as one of the foundational archetypes for the modern superhero genre. With this video, I'm going to be speaking about my favorite version of Superman. This version of Superman is from the DC animated movie Justice League Gods and Monsters.
Knock, knock.
The son of General Zod and Lara Zor-El, sent to Earth after Krypton's destruction. P.S. This video will have spoilers for the character, as I'll be going through his entire character arc set up in the comic Justice League Gods and Monsters Superman and the comic and film, both titled Justice League Gods and Monsters. Now let us begin. The son of General Zod is sent to Earth and found by a family of Mexican migrant workers in the US. The boy is given the name Hernan, a reference to his origins as the name means spiritual adventurer. Hernan is raised by loving Catholic parents and had to help out his family on their employer's farm. Like our Superman, he was forbidden from using his powers. But unlike our Superman, Hernan had a younger sister from his adopted family whom he deeply loved. Even though he was told not to use his powers, to the chagrin of his parents, especially his father, Hernan frequently disobeyed, whether it be to help the disadvantaged workers on the farm or for fun, and would one day cripple his sister while playing. Guilt is natural when one has done something wrong, but one must make sure that guilt does not fester, because if it does, it will poison one's sense of self, and Hernan will become a victim of such. Fueled by self-doubt, he refused to use his powers for years. Even when begged by his family to save a crashing plane, Hernan coldly replies that he wouldn't want to disobey his parents and lets the passengers die. Individuals who have a bad image of themselves tend to engage in self-destructive activities because after all, they believe they are no good. Hernan retreats to drinking, but because of his alien physiology, he cannot get drunk, and eventually he turns to anger by attacking some guys who throw a bottle at him, and when they come for retribution, he kills them in front of everybody on the farm. Disowned by his father, Hernan decides to leave home and see the world, and again he would wrap himself in shame and would not use his powers until many years later in Mexico. He sees the news that children were kidnapped by the cartel and seeing a little girl among them who looked like the sister he had hurt and abandoned. Hernan rushes to the rescue. He returns home shortly after, only to discover his mother is dead, but years apart had softened his father's heart, and they would make peace. After a conversation with his sister, Hernan realizes that he had only been harming himself by carrying around all that guilt and shame. He had to accept that he couldn't be just a man, but perhaps he could be something more. What the hell? Hello Fuentes. My name is Superman, and I'm going to change the world. With the shackles of shame cast off, Hernan became Superman. The difference between him and the classic being Hernan did not hide who he was. Rather, he was proud of it. Anyone who has gone without something for a while tends to overindulge in it once they get it. And for someone like Hernan, who had low self-esteem for the longest time before discovering a purpose and the confidence that comes with it, would be no different. Now his powers weren't a secret. Now he was Superman, and the world knew it. Lois Lane gave her estimation of him after Superman saved a group of hostages from their captors. It's Superman! One look was all it took for my gratitude to evaporate. It wasn't just that he murdered the nihilist with such cold efficiency. The police would have done the same. No. It was something else. His posture as he hovered there above us. The arrogant gleam in his eyes as he scanned the crowd. The situation has been dealt with. You're safe now. the smug entitlement in his voice as he spoke. This man, if he was a man, wasn't one of us, and he didn't want to be. As the story progresses, we discover that Henan had met two other super beings, Batman and Wonder Woman, at the time between his debut as Superman and his latest rescue. And though the two are super, it's obvious they're not on Superman's level. Or as Batman puts it, "You've never seen me as an equal." But soon word gets out of a group of modified human beings, people who through science have been able to cross the threshold of normal and step into the realm of super.
Everyone can be super.
Henan and Wonder Woman quickly go to investigate, and when they're offered a chance to be upgraded, Henan jumps for it. One would wonder why, when he's already the most powerful man on the planet. But perhaps these forever people showed him how quickly everything that made him super could become normal.
And when everyone's super, no one will be.
So Henan quickly jumps at the chance to tip the scales of power in his favor once again. But Wonder Woman interferes with the process out of fear that it could kill him, leaving him weaker than he's ever been. And Henan retaliates with violence. It's not dignified. It shows that after all these years of being a hero, Henan still resorts to violence when he's angry. And when they discover through Batman that the man behind these upgrades is actually a villain, they fight him and his forever people. And after a long battle, they prevail. After the battle, Superman and his companions are offered a job by the US government as a state-sanctioned super team codenamed Justice League. Initially, Henan had no interest in such, but after hearing of the death toll caused by his fighting, he yields. This time, though Henan feels guilt, he doesn't let it poison his sense of self-worth. Rather, he course corrects, but he still views himself as being above the normal people. Sometime between the formation of the Justice League and the beginning of the film Justice League: Gods and Monsters, the US government reveals to Henan that he's actually an alien and that his biological father was a high-ranking official on his home world. And that information seems to bolster Henan's sense of self-worth as he takes pride in his heritage. And as for his and the rest of the League's heroics, the best word to describe it would be bold, as he and the League go about attacking criminals without receiving the okay from their supposed bosses. They and the world knows that there is nothing that can be done to stop them. When a series of murders are linked to them, Superman and the League discover that the US government has a weapon they believe can kill the Justice League.
Fair play. I began it years ago in case the human race needed to neutralize the Justice League.
Henan decides to visit the man behind the project, Lex Luthor, and he discovers that the focal point of the project was him.
In other words, Superman, in case we had to kill you.
Again, his status as the strongest, the platform he built his sense of self-worth on, is being threatened. But at least he has his purpose as a hero, right? Wrong. The framed murders against him has only weakened the public and government's already shaky faith in him. Added to the fact that his biological father, whom he had found so much pride in, was the exact same sort of bully who had caused him to finally reveal himself to the world as Superman.
General Zod was a menace, determined to assert his dominance over everyone and everything.
And when Luthor is supposedly killed, the government activates their kill protocol on Superman and his friends. But when faced with the possibility of death, Henan does not surrender. After all, Superman protects the innocent and the League are not guilty. Eventually, the real culprit of the murders is revealed by Luthor, who wasn't really dead, and the League saved the day. The film ends on a triumphant note as Henan realizes that it's time for a change.
We need to shake things up a bit. Change the way we do things.
Of how he thinks and how he sees himself. After all, Superman
Make the universe feel your might.
is still just a man.
Be a real hero.
I believe that a piece of an individual's ideal self can be found in their early childhood, before life and trauma begins to change them. Therefore, the journey to achieving that idealized version will lead to a person who has both the confidence of youth and the wisdom of age. And in this regard, Superman stayed true to his Earth name, as his character arc was truly a spiritual adventure. Thank you for watching.